What's good in the hoodie, y'all? It's me, Shine. Today I'm back with another video. And I'm sorry for no video last week. I did say that I was going on a trip. So basically I went on 2 trips that whole week, and it was just a whole lot. I could not make no videos during that time. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already seen it. Follow me on Twitter, actually not on Twitter, on my TikTok, you probably already seen it. So it's no point of me like kind of recapping. But I do have so much in store. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, oh God. So let me stop rambling on. Let me get straight to it. So for today's video, I am going to be reviewing the cult classic horror movie. Is it a horror movie? I think it is. One of the cult classic movies, American Psycho. It was my first time watching this. I think it was like last week. It was my first time watching it. It was a whole lot. I'm going to be saying my review on it in a minute. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight to it. This movie begins with our main character, Patrick Bateman, who is a young, attractive businessman. He strives for perfection physically and emotionally and has hatred for those who are not there. Yet he wants to be better than everyone. Through this movie, we can hear monologues in which he talks about other people, his obsessions with himself, the emotions he lacks, the ones he obtains, like greed and disgust, and the reason he is the way he is. He ends up killing a businessman named Paul, and he realizes that his night activities are spilling into his daily life, especially when a detective comes and begins questioning him. In one scene, he invites 2 women to his place so they can make a sex tape, and during this video, you can see that he is so self-absorbed and only cares about how good he looks. Soon after, he sees a different businessman, has a better business card than him, and tries to kill him, and immediately afterwards, but fails, and Patrick realizes he's slipping up. He invites his secretary Jean out for dinner and tells her to meet him at his place 2 hours prior. He wanted to kill her, but before he had the chance, one of his side women called and talked about wanting him. Jean heard and left his apartment. He invited one of the girls back from the time he had sex with 2 women. He ends up killing one, and the other one tries to escape, seeing multiple dead bodies, lots of blood, and running down a hall. But he throws a chainsaw on her, killing her. Patrick has become too erratic. He shoots an old woman out of instinct, and then it leads him to him shooting the police, security, a janitor. He runs into his office and calls his lawyer, and admits to killing a whole lot of women. I personally don't know if that part was a hallucination or if it was real. We don't know. That morning, Patrick is going insane, realizing that he's completely slipping up and isn't functioning properly. His different identities are all mixing with each other. The lawyer he called thought it was a joke because he doesn't know him as Patrick Bateman. The lawyer says none of that phone call is true because he had dinner with Paul in London, so there's no way that he can be dead. It concludes with the monologue of Patrick, basically explaining that even with confessing all these killings, it really meant nothing. He didn't gain a deeper knowledge of himself and will probably continue these actions. Okay, so basically this movie was a whole lot. To this day, just reading that alone, because low-key I kind of forgot what the movie was about until I reread that, but literally, what the hell? If you have not watched this, I'll recommend watching it. I think it's a really good psychological horror movie that isn't really scary. In my opinion, is not really scary at all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This movie's not scary at all. I do think that, like, in the sense of like what the whole monologue situation was about, I completely get that. Like, it was like he would admit killing these people, how he's about to go to jail, everything in the third, right? Like, he's just going through it. But it's just like once he realized that he got away with it, he truly did not care. Like, in the sense of like, I got away with it. Like, cool. Now I'm gonna do it again. You feel me? And then, like, even thinking back to like when it got to the part of like it was the second set of 2 girls. It was still one of the girls from the first one, but it was the second set of 2 girls. And they was about to have sex or whatever. He kills one of them, and the other one goes running through the house or whatever. even in that situation, it was just like, did he ever even actually kill these girls? Because when she was running through the house, she was running to dead bodies, blood literally everywhere. It was an absolute mess. Then the next morning, it was just like, wait. Because I'm actually thinking about it, like, what if he never killed nobody? Like, I'm actually genuinely thinking about it. Like, I think he did not kill nobody. I think that all of this is like in his head, that he wants to kill all these women, that he wants to kill all these people. Like, it's just that he wants to do it, but he never does it. Like, that's just the way I'm thinking about it. It's a possibility that he did, but it's just like in the sense of like, when all that blood was everywhere, the writing on the wall, all those bodies and everything, he was literally saying like, oh, I don't know, I killed like 40 women, whatever. It was truly like, people did not understand what the hell he was talking about. Like, when he went back to that house, they was just showing the house, and it was no blood nowhere. There was no reports. When he shot that old lady, when he shot the police, nobody was looking for him. When he talked to the lawyer, he was just like, well, who the hell is Patrick Bateman? And then, which throws me off. I don't even know that whole thing. But then, even then they were like, well, you didn't kill old dude. We was just chilling with him in London. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, did any of that happen? I don't think any of that happened. I don't think he ever killed anyone, but it was just like, he always had those thoughts that I feel like that essentially is just like, he has these like really deep thoughts of him carrying out these actions. That's probably the T. That's probably T. It also says that it's a comedy movie, a horror comedy. I don't know if it's comedy. I mean, granted, it's not scary, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's comedy. To me, maybe have like a couple funny parts, but for the most part, it just gave like psychological horror without it being necessarily scary. That's just what it felt like, which is cool. It's cool. It's a movie that came out in the 2000s. It's cool. But granted, it just didn't make that much noise for me. For it being like one of the cult classic horror movies though, I do kind of agree in the sense of like how the movie was made in itself. Like, just the aspect of like, how they never actually showed him killing people. Like, granted, it would show him like swinging an axe and then blood splatter on him, but like, I think that just the way that they did it with the monologues, them not actually showing like him actually killing the people, leaves so many questions, and it leads so many like unanswered things, or things that you really need to think about, that I think that it being like one of the cult classic horror movies is really good. I think that it being the way it is yeah, it's T. It's T. So yeah, for the most part, I really did enjoy this movie a lot. I'll definitely recommend anyone that's not even into horror movies like that, but into like psychological type of movies, to check this movie out 1000%. That'll be it for today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. And yeah, see ya.
Do